What if I told you that the way we see the world could actually change it? That the lenses through which we view life, the opinions, the assumptions, the stories we hold can shape the world we live in. Because when we open ourselves to understanding endless perspectives, we begin to unlock endless possibilities. The Sustainable Developmental Goals remind us of that truth. They're not just colorful icons or noble intentions printed on posters. They're 17 different lenses, 17 perspectives on how we can rebuild the world we share. No poverty, that's the perspective of dignity, where every person stands tall with enough to live and enough to dream. Zero hunger, the perspective of nourishment, where no child goes to sleep with an empty stomach or an emptier hope. Quality education, the perspective of empowerment, where curiosity is never a privilege, but a right. Gender equality, the perspective of fairness, where worth isn't measured by chromosomes, but by character. Climate action, the perspective of fairness, the perspective of balance, where we finally realize that the earth does not belong to us, we belong to it. Each of these goals is a window, and every window shows us something different. In each of these things, I don't just see perspectives in the goals we set. I see visions. If each of one of us took just one step toward that goal, it can help to see the perspectives on how we can rebuild the world we share. Through all these different SDGs, there's one commonality, which is empathy. Empathy is not just about feeling sad for someone. It's the ability to see through their eyes. It's the ability to step into their world and stay there long enough to truly understand it. Empathy is like holding up a mirror that reflects not our faces, but someone else's heartbeat. Endless perspectives are born from empathy, and endless possibilities begin when we ask, what can we do with what we see? Today, I stand here blessed. Blessed to go to school, blessed to eat every day, blessed to drink clean water. To me, this feels ordinary, but to millions of children around the world, this is extraordinary. Somewhere right now, a girl my age is sitting on the floor of her home with nothing but hope in front of her, and when your stomach is empty, even your dreams begin to starve. I think of the girl who is told she cannot go to school simply because she's a girl, yet she dreams of becoming a doctor. I think of the boy who walks miles each day to reach a classroom with no desks, yet he dreams of becoming a teacher. I think of the families whose homes are swept away by floods every year, yet they still dream of a future where water no longer decides their fate. Through all these different perspectives, it not only tells us what's wrong, but what's possible if we act. Education, for example, should never be a privilege. It should be the key that unlocks every possibility, and yet millions of children around the world never get the opportunity to turn that key. It's like a homeless man who starves to death while food is served at his funeral, and it makes you ask yourself, why must opportunity always arrive too late? Why must the promise of tomorrow come only after hope has already starved? We live in a world where potential dies quietly every day, not because people lack ability, but because they're denied access. Education is not just about learning facts. It's about unlocking futures, and when we fail to give it, we don't just lose scientists. We lose inventors, dreamers, and leaders. We lose possibilities of the world we will never know. Empathy is what transforms perspective into purpose. It transforms I see you into I stand with you. If I'm going to tell you to change how you see the world, I have to tell you how I learned to change mine. Every day I walk into school with my head held high and my eyes straight ahead. But before I even take my seat, I start noticing. I notice the ones whose voices go unheard, not because they have nothing to say, but because silence hurts less than being unheard. I notice the ones whose laughter fill the hallway with nothing but joy, but I always notice the ones that we also pass by without a thought. The ones on the street corner whose eyes tell stories of both hunger and hope. Their gaze speaks in a language beyond words could ever do, a language made from survival, exhaustion, and a quiet voice that says, I'm still here. Once I saw a man with scars across his face, the kind that seemed to tell you his whole life has been written by pain. My first instinct, like many, was to look away, but something in me refused. I looked again, and in that second look, I didn't just see stories. I saw battles survived. I saw resilience carved into skin. That moment changed me. It made me realize that empathy, this ability to feel so deeply, is not a weakness, though it often may be perceived like one. It's a gift that allows us to see beyond what people show and instead what they carry. Empathy is so strong. It is the root for revolution. Every act for change, every justice, every freedom began with someone daring to see the world differently. It began with someone daring to see the world differently. My generation has grown up in a world that is both globally and digitally intertwined. We see stories, voices, and characters from all over the earth. Yes, it's overwhelming, but it's also an opportunity no other generation has ever had. We see problems as it is, and we imagine the world as it could be. When I think of empathy, I imagine it as a light. When it shines only in one direction, it casts a shadow. But when we let it shine across countless perspectives, races, genders, classroom, it illuminates everything. It turns perspective into purpose. It transforms I see you into I stand with you, issues into individuals, statistics into stories. Empathy is like water. It finds every forgotten space, every narrow gap, and fills it with understanding. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Each of us are threads in that garment of destiny. We see every thread, but if one fabric breaks, the thread weakens. But if we see every thread for its color, its story, its strength, the fabric we can create will be unbreakable. So I leave you with this. Every perspective is a door, and the key to unlocking it is empathy. Endless perspectives, endless possibilities, that is the world I choose to believe in. A world built on not what divides us, but on what connects us. We are all threads in that garment of destiny, and if we choose to weave together with empathy, then the world we can create will be limitless. Okay.